Good morning, Miami Dolphin fans. As you all are well aware, yesterday the Dolphins once again made a big splash and they picked up Jalen Ramsey. As you can see, the expectation meter for the Miami Dolphins is way through the roof. So they're going all in. Every move they're making is indication that they are definitely all in. Still a lot of work to be done. But once again, they have hooked me back in. I had promised I wasn't going to get hooked back in, and we didn't even make the official start of free agency, and I'm already hooked back in. And of course, I'm getting a call right away there. But anyway, welcome, Miami Dolphin fans. I hope you guys all like the move. It is a big move, kind of a surprise, but there had been weeks of a couple weeks ago. There had been links that Ramsey wanted to come to the Dolphins, but that kind of died out, so you forgot all about it. So then they've been freeing up money, and you just figured it was for the start of free agency, and then boom, Ian Rappaport, at least that's who I saw it from first, dumped the news that the trade was in the works and all but official. Can't become officially official, if that's such a term, until Wednesday when the new league year starts. But as for now, like I say, it looks like Jalen Ramsey is going to be a member of the Miami Dolphins. He has more or less said it, showed that he was very happy about coming here, and it's looking like it's a big move. Now we still got some money to spend, but I think we're at around 11 million now, so there's not enough big splash moves today for the legal tampering period. But maybe to get some good Ford F-150s in the driveway. We got the Ferrari yesterday. We got the shiny Ferrari yesterday. Now maybe we can just get some good solid players, and we will go from there and see. Hey, good morning, Steve. Welcome to the show. Man, I got my phone going crazy. All scam likely too. Hey, Vito, good morning. Vince, up to you too, Vito. Welcome, guys. Oh, and you can see just a quick note business-wise. Justin, he's doing better. I know last week he was sick, but he's doing better. He's not going to be on our show anymore. He has a lot going on in his life. He's a defensive line coach for the Colorado Longhorns now. And, he has a lot going on, and does all of his draft work behind the scenes. He will still provide some draft content for my website. So if you like his readings, go to dolphinthirsty.com, and you will see some of his reports that are already up on my website. And he is going to send me a few more. So best of luck to him in his future. I hope he does well with the Colorado Longhorns. He has passion, as we all know. Anyway, so guys, thank you. So that's it for business. Oh, and if anyone knows anyone that would like to be a co-host, I am recently retired due to unforeseen circumstances. I had to retire a little bit, a couple years early. So if you got a guy that would know someone that likes to talk about the Dolphins and is flexible hours, I can go in the evening or even set up a show for him or her. And, we can talk all things Dolphins if anyone wants that. So I would drop a link, Steve, Vito, if any of you guys want to join the show. I'm just gonna drop it right here. I don't have time to go over and drop it to you guys in your DMs. So Steve, I know you and we were on the Fins Talk Sports Network yesterday talking about it, but I wouldn't mind hearing you again on my network. That was fun yesterday. Barry Jackson is saying he's still hearing that the Dolphins are very much alive in free agency, that they want to fill and get a top of the line inside linebacker. And he doesn't know if it's going to have to wait a couple extra days until we get this free money, because we have to wait until Wednesday to free up Jalen's money. If we restructure his contract, then we can, then have more money to spend. But, he's hearing that the Dolphins would like to be player in the top of the line inside linebacker, he said in an article. David Frunones, who I probably mispronouncing his name, of the Sun Sentinel, kind of verified the same thing, that the Dolphins are still in the market for an inside linebacker, that now that they got corners scratched off their list. They would like to bring Nick Needham back, but they're feeling that around the organization, according to Barry, is that Needham may get a bigger contract than the Dolphins can afford to bring him back on. So we will see. And as far as running backs, I know a lot of the fans want the Dolphins to make a big splash in the running back area, including, some people want him in more of a trade and go for the home run, bring in King Harry from Tennessee and Derrick Henry coming to the Dolphins. Others want to see like a Miles Sanders from the Eagles. But once again, we're going to see where the dollars are. If we got like $11 million right now, and or this time last year, that's when the news broke that we're re-signing Ogball, some of our own guys. So if the Dolphins break today that some of our own guys are coming back, then that $11 million is even going to be less. So if you guys hear any rework contracts, which could happen to this morning, the legal tampering doesn't open until 12 noon our time. That's 12 noon our time, Eastern Standard Time. And Steve is going to be in the house. So I'm going to bring him in. Hey, good morning, Steve.
Hey, good morning. How you doing, Rob?
Good. Thank you for joining. It's weird being here by myself. I normally have someone to banter off, so it's nice having you come into the room and we can go off each other. So are you hearing anything different? Are you still hearing that the Dolphins want an inside linebacker? Is what
I honestly, I'm a little hour behind you here in Texas.
Oh, yeah.
And I just woke up being retired and everything. I can sleep in a little bit.
Yeah.
So I really haven't, checked anything out on Twitter or any of the other media, any of the other media things like that. But I will tell you this. I definitely agree. I don't think we're done. And if there's a will, there's a way. Stephen Ross is going to find, he's got the money. And I'm pretty sure, I'm sure Greer and I'm sure Brandon Shore are working diligently right now. And I said this on the show yesterday afternoon with you and Bobby and the gang. Chris Greer is not done. I think he's kind of on the hot seat, and I think this is a do or die season. For Greer, for McDaniel, and for Tua. So I think he's going all in. I think they're going to make I know a lot of folks are concerned about the monies and we spent too much on Jalen Ramsey. I did see that the other day and stuff. No, we didn't spend too much on Jalen Ramsey. Look what we gave up. We gave up a 3rd round pick and Hunter Long. Hunter Long wasn't very productive for us.
No, one catch in 2 seasons. He had one catch for 8 yards. So, yes.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree 100%. And so for $17 million a year, that's not a bad deal. And they can do a lot of other extensions and things like that. Say Christian Wilkins and get some more monies and other moves. Agba. There's a lot of things. The Dolphins have a lot of options where they can manipulate that cap money, and they can make more splash moves, and I think they will. I think they're going to get an inside linebacker, like you said. I think they're going to go for they may even go for Poyer, or someone of that nature.
Safety. That's what I did hear Poyer a lot. He would love to come here, but now I don't know how the money works and how much money you want to dedicate to the secondary, what he's going to be looking to demand in free agency. But Poyer was my guy all along that I wanted, just because he was open about wanting to come here, just like Ramsey was. But I didn't really know Ramsey was really pushing for Miami all along until yesterday when you started seeing off his tweets. So.
Yeah, no, me either. I didn't either. But inside linebacker, safety, I think they're going to get the right tackle that we need so desperately for Tua, for his protection.
I hope so, because you're staying strong with more or less saying Austin Jackson's the guy and this and that. I just hope that's a smoke screen and that they really want, someone else.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping, but I think they will. I think they will get that right tackle. They might get the left guard. Now, I'm not saying these guys are going to be big splash players, but they're going to be probably somewhere in between mid and really good players.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's where we are right now, contract wise. Like you said, we can, if Christian, news could break today that we're extending Christian Wilkins, and that will free up money for next year, and you never know. And then you could extend Williams. He was a good center for us this year. You could extend him, and that would lower his cap number. So there's still other moves that you can do. But from what I'm hearing from everyone, we can't mess with Jalen Ramsey until he's officially with the Dolphins, because then it'll be, so you have to make it the new league year. But I guess you could negotiate guys saying, hey, we're not going to have the money until, but we will have it come Wednesday. So maybe they could tell them that today when they're doing these deals. I don't know if they can calculate deals, just assuming they're going to get these contracts reworked. I don't know how that all works behind the scenes, but the agents are in them. Have already been talking for weeks, but today's legal tampering where they can be open about it starting, at noon. So it should be fun. And if you guys want live coverage today, make sure you join the Fins Talk Sports Network at noon. They have an insider. They have Josh Wingate, and they got an insider guy that has a big reputation on Twitter and stuff. I'm just having a brain fart on his name, but he's a good follow. He has all kinds of information, and you guys should get good updates today on the Fins Talk Sports Network. So anyway, we talked yesterday a lot, and I know that a lot of people were saying they wanted Henry. I just don't see how they can really do. I mean, they could, like you say, where there's a will, there's a way. They could trade for him and then rework his contract, because right now he's a big contract kid. Yeah. So, and we are right there. We got like $11 million, which is a lot for you and me. We wish we had $11 million to spend over the next year, but $11 million in the NFL goes quick. That's not even one shiny player. You can't even get one star player at that. You're going to get maybe a couple, like you say, Ford F-150s, but you're not getting another Ferrari right now at that price, Yeah,
that's true. That's true. But as I said, I really believe. So let me continue where I left off. I said right tackle, left guard, and I do believe they're going to get a tight end. Whether that be, I would like to see them get it in free agency. There's a lot of solid tight ends out there, blocking tight ends, with the exception of Schultz from Dallas. Right, he's a little better pass catcher. I would say he's better at catching passes than blocking, but he is still a lot better than Gesicki was.
Yeah, I know. Gesicki, he doesn't have a reputation of blocking at all, but I don't know about Schultz. He scares me a little bit. I know Josh Wingate says he would be a good fit for the Miami Dolphins, but to me, I don't know. I'd just rather have a brutal blocker in this system, because we've seen what our tight ends could do, and it wasn't that much. So, and I was expecting big things from our tight end when we first got McDaniel, and then it just never really played out. No one really stepped up. Hopefully, maybe Derman. So he was okay, but they couldn't even move on from him. But they just reworked his contract last year, so I don't know how that goes money wise. But we already moved on from a couple tight ends. Hunter Long's off the team. We didn't re-up Stephen Carter. So it's like now we're very thin at tight end. So I'm looking at a tight end in the draft and free agency is how it's probably looking, because you need a couple tight ends at this point. So I agree. And we definitely need running backs, because basically we got Achman. We got one running back under contract right now. And so you can't roll with that during a season. So you're going to either have to bring back a Mozart and then bring in some other people. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think we do need to get a veteran tight end in free agency, and maybe draft a tight end in the draft a tight end. But I honestly, and I said this, been saying this a while now. I love Darnell Washington from Georgia. I think he could be a tight end that just comes right in and fits into the system and can play.
I think he'll be a good blocker from day one. Probably.
That's what I mean. He's a big man. He has pass catching ability, and I think he can come in and block. Right, for sure. I agree, and I think, like I said, I think he'll fit into the McDaniel system pretty good. At least from what we've seen last year.
I know so many people have him weighed with inside their top 50 on the draft boards. That I have a hard time but you never know how draft night falls. People fall for unforeseen reasons. So there are, people reach for other players, at a position of need and bypass a good tight end. Who knows? So maybe he could fall to us. Not likely. So it's someone that you would probably have to trade up and go nail if that's the guy you've determined. You already don't have a lot of picks anyway, so you could go all in and say, here's our number 2 and number 3. We're just moving up and calling it a night and moving up and getting our guy. So they could do something like that. Who knows?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I'm just excited. As you mentioned earlier, right at 12:01, legal tampering begins. So I will be definitely watching that today, and hopefully we make some more, at least one more big splash here today.
And we're getting spoiled as Dolphin fans the past couple of years in the off season. We're getting used to. We're getting used to the Dolphins making, but eventually we can't just be the winners in the off season like we are every year. We got to start being winners on the field. That's why my photo today was the expectation meter once again for the Miami Dolphins is at an all-time high. There's no excuse this year. I don't care if Aaron Rodgers comes into the division. That's not an excuse for them. You got to compete against good players all the time anyway. There's no excuse that the Dolphins need to be not just scrambling for a playoff where like this year we scrambled, sneaked in, needed help, got into the playoffs, played a good game in the playoffs, but we don't need that. We need to be like locked and secured in the playoffs with a couple of weeks left playing the season. I'm talking about we got to at least get to double-digit wins at a minimum, like 10, 11. Anything less than that is, to me, it's just a disappointing season with all the talent we have. It means something went wrong.
I have higher expectations than that. With the roster, at the end of the day, I have a low battery, so I'm going to have to shut off here in a few minutes. At the end of the day, at this point in time, and we're in the two-year window, and with the moves that we've made and the moves that we are going to make, I believe, I'm not going to be happy no less than again making it to the championship game.
No.
That's it.
I agree for the most part, man. I know things happen during the season, but as we sit here on March 13th, I agree with you 100%. Obviously, if some of your star players go down, then unfortunately, but that's just football. But as we sit here right now, I'm 100% with you. That's why I got my expectation, my Miami Dolphin expectation meter right now is through the roof and I had promised myself, I'm not getting hooked in this year. They hooked me in every single year. And look at that. That resolution lasted until not even the first day of free agency. Now I'm all back in, being reeled in, thinking that the Dolphins are going to be good again. They hooked me every single year, and they did it again really quick this year. It's going to be fun. It's going to be the fun next few days, just within our own organizations to see who they rework or maybe just cut that we're not even expecting a cut. And we're like, whoa, we got cut, or maybe a trade. I see where the Chicago Bears want to spend a lot of money. I already know they got a receiver, but man, they could use Cedric Wilson. Why don't we trade Cedric Wilson to the Bears for a 7th-round pick? Let them eat up some of that cap money. And we get rid of that. To me, it's a perfect trade partner right there. I'd take a 7th-round pick for Cedric Wilson just to reload, just get his contract off the books.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Cedric Wilson. Hey, look, Rob, I got to get going, but everybody, please like, subscribe, share with your friends, your families, and neighbor. Let's get Rob up to 200 here. We've got a good show here. Puts out good content. Don't forget the Dolphins Thirsty.com. Go ahead and take a look at that. He's got a lot of good Dolphin news on there in trivia. Dolphin trivia. He does the nobody does it better than Rob on the Dolphins trivia.
Well, thank you, Steve.
Go ahead
and if you want to see Steve every Tuesday night, it's every Tuesday night at 7:30 p.m. This week, I don't know what the time frame is. Probably 7:30. Is it going to start? Same time. Okay, because I know we're going to do a double show with the bandwagon. So 7:30 every Tuesday night on the Fins Talk Sports Network. And tomorrow night's show should be a lot of fun because we're going to know a lot more what happened today. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So thank you, Steve. I know your battery's dying. My show's not going to be long today because I'm running solo. So I'm probably going to have shorter shows the rest of the off season until I find some regular co-hosts and change some hours or whatever. But it's all going to be fun. So thank you, Steve. And fins up to
you. Yeah, no doubt. And don't forget, Dolphins #1, baby. Dolphins #1.
Thank you.
Out here.
I got to remember not to log off when you're saying that. Bye.
Bye.
So anyway, guys, that was Steve Malloy. He's a good follow on Twitter at Steve Malloy 72, and he's also, like I said, on the Fins Talk Sports Network. Again, not too many plugins here, but today the Fins Talk Sports Network will be having live coverage starting at noon to see if any news on the Miami Dolphins come out, and that would be hosted by Josh Wingate and a special guest, and I just can't remember who that special guest is. All right. Anyway, thank you guys. Remember, Fins up on that. And if you can like and subscribe. And is there anyone you want to see the Dolphins target? Is it a Tremaine Edmonds, or is that do you think it's off the books at this point, too expensive? Is it a Poyer? Would you like the Dolphins to go after a big running back like a Sanders from the Eagles or a Henry? I would love to see your guys' thoughts and comments. If you had to say one position that you want the Dolphins to really shore up, is it a right tackle? Because you don't really hear much buzz around the Dolphins about looking on the offensive line, which I was hoping there'd be a little more buzz for that. But maybe that's why you don't hear the buzz, because that's what they want to target, and they want them, stay more incognito. Well, what a name! What talking about offensive line and the Miami Dolphins incognito, but stay a little under the radar. So so they can poach quicker. So who knows? That's what I always like to say. Who knows what they're thinking? But yeah, the Ramsey trade did send that meter through the roof. And I'm sure all you guys are liking the move. I like the move. I know there are some negative Neds. I will go Ned, so I don't offend the ladies. I was going to say negative Nancy's. I'm sure there's some negative Neds out there that are not happy with the move because yes, we gave up another pick. We already have a limited number of draft picks, and we gave up one of those. We gave up Hunter Long, but Hunter Long, I mean, nothing against the man because he was a Miami Dolphin. But again, he had not contributed much to the Miami Dolphins. He appeared in 16 games in 2 seasons and caught one NFL pass for 8 yards. So it's not like he's going to be sorely missed. Hopefully, he turns his career around and goes out to Los Angeles and becomes a good player for them, and everyone's happy. And yes, I would like to have that other 3rd round pick, but at the end of the day, would you think the Dolphins were they going to get a pick at pick number 77 that's going to be as productive as Ramsey if Ramsey stays healthy? No, the answer is a quick no. There's no way they're going to get a player that would come in and contribute to the level that could be an all-pro level, that Ramsey has the ability to bring you and has brought to the NFL. So I see that as being a good move all the way. And it's just good moves for the Rams. I know people are saying, oh, the Rams got fleeced. But, not really, because the Rams needed, just like us a few years ago when we were clearing up cap space, the Rams are in that position now. They have to clear up cap space. They found a buyer. Ramsey kind of put it on them, saying he really wanted to go to the Dolphins, so that probably even lowered the market more. Ramsey wanted to go, and if it wasn't the Dolphins, he wanted to go to a team that would be willing to pay him more guaranteed money, and thus the Dolphins. He knows the Dolphins are good at guaranteeing that money. So overall, I mean, it's a really, really good move from everyone involved. I mean, the Rams kind of had to do it. Now they were rebuild for next year, and they're probably going to be all in next year. They're going to be in the tank mode and try to get a young quarterback to go over there because they're going to just start their rebuild as they get rid of these big contracts that they have. But again, the Rams did it. They won a Super Bowl, and now they're paying for it. And because they won the Super Bowl, not the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, but they did it more through the draft. A couple big names here and there they went and signed, but the Chiefs did it the draft way. The Rams did it the spending way, which the Miami Dolphins have kind of followed that suit. But we have a little more flexibility, at least how we're doing some of these contracts. But, hey, if the Dolphins win one Super Bowl and stink for a couple of years and have to tear it apart, I take it at this point. Being 53 years old, watching the Dolphins my whole life, too young to remember the Super Bowl wins, old enough to remember the Super Bowl losses of the 80s. So it's time. I've never seen the Dolphins. I consider myself never seeing the Dolphins win a Super Bowl because I was 3 and 4 years old when they won those Super Bowls. So I don't remember anything. I'd be lucky to remember, last week. So, I don't remember any of those. But I tease because obviously I do remember the Super Bowl losses, but that was way too long ago. I mean, we're going on this year's 50 years since we've won. Last year was a 50-year anniversary of the perfect season. This is going to be the 50th year for the Dolphins, last Super Bowl win against the Vikings. Oh, speaking of the Vikings, Bud Grant, he passed away. May he rest in peace. He was a legend in the NFL. Dolphins beat him in the Super Bowl at least, and he made a lot of Super Bowls. He was the Buffalo Bills before the Buffalo Bills of the 80s. They made a lot of Super Bowls, but they lost Super Bowls. But he was a great guy. He even played basketball on the professional level. I mean, he just has an amazing story. But so Bud Grant, he made it all the way to the 90s. I don't know his exact age, but he passed away in his 90s. And he was like always a Viking coach when I was younger and stuff. So sad to see him go. But back to the Dolphins. Back to the Dolphins. That's what we're all here to talk about. Should be a fun day. You're gonna have to make sure you join in the Fins Talk Sports Network at noon today. I know I've said it a couple of times, but that's what I'm going to do because I'm going to be driving around a little bit. Not going to be able to sit in front of the NFL Network. So I'm going to just have them streaming while I'm driving around. I'm not going to talk much longer today. If there's anything you guys want to talk about, hit me up. It stinks not having my normal 2 people panel. So hopefully that will change here in the near future. So fins up to you guys. I'm happy you guys, Vito, Steve, and everyone else that chimed in today. Thank you so much. I'm going to end this show here today with the reminder, Dolphins #1, fins up. Make sure you like and subscribe. And you guys rock. Can't do this without you. And if you know anyone that wants to be a co-host on my network or a host of their own show on my network, let me know. I'm always on Twitter. You can send me a DM if we follow each other. You can email me at dolphinsthirsty@gmail.com, and we can get stuff done that way as well. So if you got anyone that knows that wants to be a co-host, that'd be great. But anyway, we're going to move forward here. I'm going to end this show here today. My family's coming home too, so it's perfect timing. Thank you for all the comments. Thank you for the guys that actually joined my live stream. That was awesome. Fins up. Let's keep an eye on those Dolphins today. If there's any huge breaking news, maybe I would do a live show later to talk about the big move like we did about Jalen Ramsey yesterday. Later, guys. Fins up.